Why healthy people have heart attacks. 3 screening secrets you must know. Imagine this. On a beautiful morning, you lace up your running shoes and complete a 10 kilometers run with your best performance ever. You feel your muscles firm, your breathing rhythmic, and the blood surging through your veins. You just had a general checkup last week, and your cholesterol and blood sugar levels were perfect. You are confident that you are at the peak of your fitness. But at the very moment you are smiling with pride, deep inside your chest, an entity we call the Widowmaker is silently growing. It is not painful, it does not cause shortness of breath, and it leaves no trace on standard fitness tests. It is as quiet as a ghost, waiting for a snap of fate to end everything. Did you know that for 50% of men and 64% of women, the first symptom of cardiovascular disease is not a lingering chest pain? It is sudden death. They pass away while still believing they are perfectly healthy. I am Dr. David, and today, I will peel back the layers of the healthy heart to show you the time bombs that modern medicine sometimes misses. We are not going to talk about hypotheses. We are talking about the biological reality happening inside you. Before we dive deep into decoding the machine that keeps you alive, I have a small but important request. Please click the subscribe button and turn on notifications right now. Why? Because the knowledge I share over the next 60 minutes could be the boundary between life and death for you or your loved ones. Heart disease spares no one, even the most disciplined. Do not forget to leave a greeting or ask any questions in the comments section. I will take the time to answer them directly to ensure no one leaves with ambiguity. To understand why a perfect engine suddenly catches fire, we must strip away the flesh and look at its piping system. The heart is a miraculous muscle. It demands more oxygen than almost any other tissue in the body. To meet this massive demand, it relies on a network of surrounding blood vessels called the coronary arteries. Ancient anatomists called them coronary because they looked like a crown surrounding the heart. But I want you to think of them as the root system of an ancient tree. We have 2 main root branches, the right coronary artery and the left coronary artery. From the left branch, a giant vessel develops and runs down the front of the heart, known as the LAD, left anterior descending artery. In the emergency room, we have a chilling nickname for this vessel, the Widowmaker. Why? Because of its geometry. The LAD supplies blood to the entire front and bottom of the left ventricle, the main pumping chamber, the jet engine that pushes blood to nourish the entire body. Remember this rule. If you block a small branch, you only lose a few leaves. But if you cut the main trunk, the whole tree collapses. A blockage in the LAD will cause the heart to lose its ability to pump blood immediately, leading to widespread heart tissue death within minutes. The scariest part? You can own a tree that looks very green on the outside, but its main root is rotting from the inside without you knowing. The most common question I receive is, Doctor, why do I exercise every day and eat healthily, yet my arteries are still blocked? To understand this, look at the vessel wall. A healthy artery is like a brand new rubber garden hose, flexible and resilient. The innermost lining is called the intima, tunica intima. In a perfect state, it is as smooth as Teflon on a non-stick pan. Blood cells glide past it without any friction. But life is not perfect. Over decades, factors such as high blood pressure, excessive flow pressure, high blood sugar, making the blood sharp-edged, cigarette smoke, chemical toxins. All of these act like sandpaper rubbing against that Teflon lining. Even the mechanical stress from extremely high blood flow during intense workouts by athletes can cause microscopic scratches. This is where the real trouble begins. Your body sees the scratch and wants to repair it. It sends LDL cholesterol to the scene like a mason using mortar to patch a hole. Then, the immune system sends white blood cells to inspect. These cells eat the cholesterol, turn into foam cells, and then harden. This hard mixture of cholesterol, calcium, and cellular waste is what we call plaque. This is the key point that costs millions of people their lives due to subjective judgment. We often imagine plaque like mud clogging a drain. It gradually fills the pipe until water can no longer pass through. You think that as the pipe narrows, you will feel chest pain or shortness of breath and go for a checkup. Our bodies are too smart, and sometimes that intelligence backfires. As the plaque grows, instead of intruding inward and narrowing the lumen, the arterial wall actually expands outward to make room for that growth. This helps preserve the space for blood flow. What is the result? You have a massive plaque attached to the vessel wall, but the lumen remains 100% open. Blood still flows perfectly. You can still run 10 kilometers, and your heart still meets the oxygen demand because the flow is unobstructed. You feel like a Superman, but in reality, you are carrying a ticking time bomb that has already been activated. Many people mistakenly believe that fitness equals health. This is a deadly mistake. Being able to run fast or lift heavy weights shows that your muscular system and oxygen transport capacity are very good. But it does not tell you whether your arterial walls are inflamed or whether your plaque is soft and prone to rupture. An athlete's heart is like a finely tuned race car engine. But if the fuel lines of that car are made of old, rotting material and filled with debris, then the higher the speed, the greater the risk of fire and explosion. The body's adaptation hides disease so well that it deceives even doctors if they only rely on standard stress tests. You pass a treadmill stress test easily because your blood vessels have expanded outward to maintain flow. But remember, the stability of the plaque is more important than its size. A plaque that takes up only 30% but is soft and inflamed is 10,000 times more dangerous than a 70% plaque that is calcified and stable. We already know that the heart can deceive us by expanding blood vessels and hiding dangerous plaques. You can feel great even when you are just a few steps away from the abyss. Let's move on. In the hospital, we divide myocardial infarction into several types, but I want you to understand the two most common scenarios for people who appear healthy. Scenario 1. Type 1 myocardial infarction, the sudden collapse. This is the ruptured pimple scenario I just mentioned. It happens even to people with only 30% plaque. This is why people with slightly high cholesterol who are subjective often become victims. Small plaques are usually softer and easier to rupture than large plaques that are old and hard. Scenario 2. Type 2 myocardial infarction, Robert's paradox. Listen to the story of Robert, a 50-year-old runner who is extremely disciplined. Robert did not have a ruptured plaque. He had a stable plaque that narrowed the lumen by 50%. At rest, 50% is more than enough. But when Robert participated in a race and his heart rate jumped to 170 beats per minute, his heart screamed for a fire hose of oxygenated blood. However, the segment narrowed by 50% could only provide a garden hose. This supply-demand imbalance caused the heart muscle to suffocate. Worse, Robert had atrial fibrillation, a fib, a condition of irregular rhythm that makes the heart beat chaotically. The heart beats so fast that it doesn't have time to fill with blood before it has to pump. The result? Robert didn't have severe chest pain. He just felt tired, nauseous, and unsteady. He thought he was dehydrated, but in reality, his heart was silently dying. How do doctors know Robert is having a heart attack even though the vessel is not completely blocked? We look for a protein called troponin. Imagine troponin as the liquid inside a glow stick. As long as the plastic shell is intact, the liquid stays inside. But if you break the stick, the liquid leaks out. Heart muscle cells are the same. When they are starved of oxygen and die, the cell walls break, releasing troponin into the blood. If we see troponin in your blood, it means the glow stick has broken, your heart is damaged. There is a heartbreaking paradox in medicine. A healthy 40-year-old man often has a higher death rate from a heart attack than a 70-year-old man. Why? The answer lies in collateral circulation. The hearts of the elderly have lived with plaques for decades. When a main road is jammed, narrowing gradually, the heart has time to build back alleys, tiny blood vessels that bridge across the narrow spot. When a heart attack strikes, they already have a system of shortcuts to save their lives. In young people, everything is too sudden. The only highway is blocked, and they have no other way out. How do you force the body to build shortcuts? The good news is you don't have to wait until you are 70. You can proactively build this backup network through training. Zone 2 long-duration moderate-intensity training helps increase resilience and the number of capillaries. HIIT, high-intensity interval training, creates positive pressure, forcing the heart to expand new vascular networks to adapt. Exercise is not just about losing weight. It is about buying insurance by building more roads for blood to flow. Never trust your feelings, and do not trust standard blood tests alone. Low total cholesterol does not mean you are safe. As I said, the ingredients in the blood do not tell you whether they are forming slag on the vessel walls. To truly know where you stand, you need two types of maps. CAC score, calcium scoring. This is a quick 5-minute CT scan without the need for contrast injection. It measures the amount of hardened calcium in your arteries. Score of 0, excellent, low risk. Score over 400, you are holding a ticking time bomb. Calcification is a sign of failed repair efforts in the past. CT angiogram, coronary computed tomography angiography. This is the current gold standard. It allows doctors to see even soft plaque, the pimples that CAC might miss. This is the only way to detect silent killers before they have a chance to rupture. My friends, the death of a person who appears healthy from heart disease is almost always a tragedy of ignorance. We have the technology, we have the knowledge, but we lack vigilance. Your body is a supreme adaptation machine. It will serve you until your last breath, but it will also hide its exhaustion until the very last moment. Don't wait for the fire alarm to put out the fire. Control your blood pressure to stop the sanding of the vessels. Manage your blood sugar to keep the blood flow smooth. And most importantly, go for screening instead of guessing. We have traveled together on a 120-minute journey through the two parts of this video. If you find this information valuable, please help me spread it. A single click of the share button for a running friend, or for your father or uncle who is in middle age, could be the act that saves a life. Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you don't miss these lessons on life and death. I want you to live not just long, but also healthy and sharp. Finally, please comment the words "I understand" right under this video if you commit to yourself and to me that you will go for a cardiac screening, CAC or CT angiogram this year. I will be waiting to read your commitments. Wishing you and your family a strong heart and peaceful bloodlines. I am Dr. David. Goodbye and see you again.